got my back? I got your back. Who's got my back? I got your back. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, this is Tony Mitchell here, doing another podcast, Championship Mindset, Conversations on the Road to Greatness. And you're not seeing double. This is my lovely daughter, Anisa Joy Lucas Grant Mitchell.
All the names.
All the names.
All the names.
She has come to town under some sad circumstances, but we're going to turn lemons into lemonade. You know, she has been a part of this process from the time she was a young girl. AFI, Championship Mindset, you know, all the things that came with the package. I'm going to have Anisa tell you when Championship Mindset became a part of her education career and how she has grown and adapted this product into her day-to-day career. Anisa?
Well, it started back in, 2006, I would say, when I first started teaching in Atlanta, Georgia. And
first of all, tell everybody where you went to high school.
Wilkinsburg High School, Tiger for life, absolutely.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP, and I went to Cal U for my master's.
And
yes.
Then you got married.
And then I got married and moved down to Atlanta in 2006 and have been there ever since. So this is my 14th year teaching and being down there.
So, you know, tell us how you've grown and have incorporated the Championship Mindset model into your classroom setting.
Well, just growing up watching you with sports and how you motivated your players and how you kept them on track and how you were firm and consistent. I just transferred that into my classroom, and it was natural. It just felt like I was born to do that. I was born to create champions, and I just really channeled your energy into my classroom and motivated my students and established relationships. And then before you know it, other teachers were wondering, how do you get them to listen? How do you get them locked in? How do you get them engaged? And it's just because I changed their mindset, and Championship Mindset just really gave them the ability to believe in themselves.
Well, the thing that I love about it is it started all the way back when you were in middle school at Wilkinsburg High School.
Right.
Took a job at Wilkinsburg, and it was an environment that was a crazy environment, you know, academically, socially. There was a lot of things going on, and I felt like if the model could work there, it could work anywhere.
Anywhere.
And I was extra engaged because you were a student there.
Right.
And there were so many things going on that were potentially dangerous, life-threatening type things. We felt like if Championship Mindset can change the culture there, that it could succeed anywhere.
Right.
You know, when you talk about Tiger Pride, you talk about something that grew from 0-24 losing streak in football to a dynamic program where my daughter spent every game day, whether it was Friday night or Saturday afternoon, on the sideline with me.
Right.
Doing
taking
stats.
the stats.
So now we want to roll it back
Loved
even
it.
further, where my daughter, my first coaching job in Homewood Brushton, she was a baby in an umbrella stroller. It was a red and white umbrella stroller. I used to take her with me to games and practice, and she would be chilling in the dugout with my team. So she's been around me and Championship Mindset in some way, shape, or form for 36 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, so when I think about what happened when she went to Georgia and she became a teacher, and Tell us about some of the different schools that you've been in Atlanta, because it hasn't always been like this easy road, this path. Tell us about some of the schools, starting with the first school that you were in Atlanta.
So the first school that I was in was a low income area, and the students were a little rambunctious. They were all over the place, and teachers were having such a hard time. And I came in, new, and I just totally changed the dynamic of that building because I did not tolerate foolishness. And I had my kindergartners walking down in a straight line with a ducktail and a bubble on your lip, and you better not open your mouth. And it was just, it was fun. The kids loved it, and the kids love structure. And
People
love structure.
We thrive when we have it.
Right. And so it was just a lot of fun to be able to change the viewpoints on that building. And then I went to another school that was a little bit better than my first school.
What grade level were you in?
I was teaching, so at my first school I taught kindergarten, first and second grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my second school I taught first grade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, that was the third school. It's like I've been to so many schools now. It's all running together.
Just give us the number of grades that you've actually taught since you've been there.
Pretty much
K through
8.
K through 8.
I've done K through 8, and I was in elementary school for 9 years, and 2 of the schools were inner city. One school was a high Hispanic population, and the middle school that I went to after that, when I transitioned from elementary to middle, was super rough. Like, super rough.
A little bit like Wilkinsburg.
Yes. It was super rough, and I remember even at my interview, the assistant principal, he said, this is a whole different ball game than elementary. He said, can you handle it? I told him I was born for this. I got this. I had that mindset. I was bringing championship mindset into the middle school because I knew that it worked in elementary. I just did it in smaller segments in elementary, but it worked there, and then I transferred it to middle school, and man, that was the breakthrough for championship mindset.
Now, mind you, me and Anisa communicates on a regular basis about what we need to do to fine-tune the program.
Every morning.
So every year we have fine-tuned this program.
Right.
To make sure that it fits into the classroom setting, to make sure that it's a connector for all the stakeholders. And we talk about all the stakeholders, we're talking about teachers, we're talking about admin, we're talking about coaches, we're talking about parents.
Everybody.
We're talking about everybody. So this is like not an accidental formula. It's been years that we've been fine-tuning this program. We do everything here in segments. Our first segment was smooth as silk. So we're going to continue right after this minute. Hey, this is Tony Mitchell coming back at you with segment number 2. I still have my twin, Anisa Joy Mitchell, I call her. She has all these other names, Grant Lucas, but she's Anisa Joy Mitchell. To me, she'll always be that.
Right.
My little bundle of joy.
Bundle of joy.
From a long time ago. We ain't going to tell the story about the delivery room when I made them show me that she was not.
You wanted me to be your quarterback. You said, that's my quarterback.
Man, I got me a stud running back, center fielder. They're like, no, this is a girl. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. I have to pull the diaper. I need to see.
You said that's not possible. She looks just like me. How is that even possible?
So it's just been one of those things. We've been connected from day one. Same mindset, same vibe. Everything is just smooth. This second segment, we want to spend it on telling you how Anisa transferred the original championship mindset model into a model that was not just comprehensive but adaptable. She ended up winning Teacher of the Year in Georgia using this model. How did you adapt the model, the original model, to the model that included Mindset Monday and all these different things?
So originally, it just started off as motivating your kids and establishing relationships. But then we decided to take it a step further and build a mini curriculum that we have and that we use. And so started branching into character traits and building their character and their mindset and doing Mindset Monday. And now we do Reflection Fridays. And so we just turned it into something that.
What about all about me?
Yes, so we have All About Me. We do an assignment that's called I Wish My Teacher Knew, and those are the things that you do within your first weeks of school so that you establish that foundation with your kids. And it has truly evolved. It just literally went from something that I talked about, every once in a while, to it's a consistent factor in the classroom throughout the week, and it motivates the kids, and it also keeps their behavior under wraps, because all I have to do is say, what's our word of the week? And last week's word was strong. And ironically, I had to be strong because I had lost my cousin, 2 cousins within 4 days. And so I'll ask them, are you being strong? Are you being dependable? Are you being, nice? So just really putting it into a program that is used every day. It's something that's used every day.
And the beauty of it is we now know that it's adaptable in any environment. Whether it's affluent, whether it's rural, whether it's inner city, whether it's low socioeconomic, it doesn't matter. This model has been tested everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's been successful everywhere.
Everywhere.
If there's a championship mindset classroom in your building, kids gravitate to the message that is in there, the vibe that is in there.
And everybody wants to be in that class. So funny. Students I don't even teach, they're like, I wish you were my teacher. But I still motivate them as well. I motivate them in the hallway and talk to them in the cafeteria and just show them that I'm human. And so it would just be better if a lot of people, buy into it. And so we're working on that, and I'm so excited about that we have total buy-in with multiple schools, multiple districts. It's expanding. It's not just elementary. We service through college and corporations, and you could change the mindset in any type of environment. And so I really love that part, how much it's evolved.
The thing that I love the most is it started out as an athletic component.
Right.
It started out as a component to curb negative behavior in a school environment. And it has just morphed into everything that we have now at our plate. The thing that I love about it, more than anything, it's a family-oriented program. You're talking about going in and changing the mindset at home, in school, in the community. Tell us a little bit, Nisa, about how you utilize certain components to motivate the athletic teams in the school that you work with.
So, funny story. At my first school, we didn't win a lot of games. My middle school, I should say. My first middle school, we didn't win a lot of games. And I was really close with the football coach, football and basketball. And I told him, I said, you need to let me give the kids a pep talk. And he was looking at me like, what? Yeah. Why would you?
For what sport, though?
For football.
For
and he's like, why would you? I'm like, why wouldn't I? I said, trust me. We're going to change things. I said, just give me 10 minutes with them. And we were outside at the bus port, and I took my badge off, and I said, I'm getting ready to go into a different mode. You haven't seen this before, but I'm getting ready to show you a different side of me.
Coach Mitchell mode.
Coach Mitchell mode. Took that badge off, and I told him, I said, this is the only sport that you can just legally be aggressive and take everything out. Everything that they've said about you and not being able to win games, and you're the underdog, and we got to show them that the underdog, that their day is coming. And I just was talking to them and saying all kind of stuff and getting down and showing them how they got to blow people up, and they were just so locked and loaded that somebody snapped a picture and all the players were just like in awe that that was coming from me, the language arts teacher, talking about football. And we definitely won that game. We definitely won, and they wanted, you know, they wanted me to be.
They wanted more.
They wanted more. They wanted me to do it every
more.
game. They wanted me to be there. If they saw me walk into the stands, you know, they were, Miss Grant, waving me down from the sidelines. And
It's all
you
about
know,
that mindset.
It's all about that. I told them it's all about that mindset, and they absolutely loved it.
The thing that's great about this is it's comprehensive. It's going to increase standardized test scores because
Absolutely.
the mindset controls everything. Everything you do in life, it's all about what you believe and what you're willing to sacrifice in order to achieve greatness. We talk about greatness a lot. When there's expectations, we now know that kids will meet those expectations.
Absolutely.
There are certain classrooms that don't have expectations. There are certain homes that have limited expectations. We challenge you
Right.
with championship mindset to increase your expectation of your child and to ride with them. We talk about that because we know what that means, to ride with somebody.
Right.
We will ride with you. When our program comes to your school, we're going to give you support. We're going to give you motivation. We're going to give you the tools to be successful. It's not a one-hitter quitter. We're not trying to come in, get paid one time, and leave and say, peace.
That's not how it
That's
works.
not how we do it.
That's not how it works, because at the end of the day, if you're just, that's really just being like a public speaker.
Yes.
If you just come in and give them a pep talk and then they never see you again, eventually it's going to fade away. Championship mindset does not fade away.
No.
It's something that you use, and we got the bracelets, and you have the apparel, and kids go crazy over that stuff.
Yes.
Teachers go crazy over that stuff.
Yes.
It's that constant reminder that you have to be great.
Yes.
You have to be great. And that when you mentioned with me winning Teacher of the Year, you know, I had went through a lot of rough times.
Yes.
That year. But when the second I stepped into that building, I had to assume that role of being, you know, a champion. And so I couldn't let my external circumstances influence what was going on in the classroom. And I worked my hardest that year, and I was pleasantly surprised to win Teacher of the Year using championship mindset, and to be a semifinalist for the whole school district. I was at like the top 2 for middle school teachers out of thousands of teachers, and I know it was because of championship mindset. It wasn't because of anything else. Using that program and teachers seeing it work and seeing, like you said, standardized test scores.
Mm-hmm.
My scores were through the roof. I had kids growing impossible leaps and bounds using championship mindset. Telling their, you know, teachers, telling my principal and everybody else, it's all about that mindset, you know, and it's just awesome.
A wonderful thing. And the thing that's tremendous about it is, in the most dynamic, troublesome environments within the school, like the cafeteria in every school can be crazy.
Right.
A lot of havoc, a lot of just nonsense going on.
Not when I'm in there.
When championship mindset is in your building,
right,
there is going to be some control and some accountability.
Right, because the expectations are so high.
Yes, and that's the thing that we're going to tell you. We're going to challenge you. Mm-hmm. A champion is a champion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
365 days a year. You can't just flip the switch and be a champion just in Mrs. Grant's
when you
class.
Feel like it.
It doesn't work that way. You know, and the buy-in is what makes it great.
Absolutely.
You know, the buy-in, the kids understand that it's something different.
Right.
They understand that you care about them as individuals.
Right.
We will plug your district into that component. We will plug your community in to that component. Right. You know, we're excited to bring this product to you. We do have the motivational speaking component. We do have the professional development component for your staff.
Webinars and
we have
everything.
Yes.
What did you say? This was the Walmart
Yes,
the
super Walmart.
super Walmart of programs,
Yes.
because it's all comprehensive. We cover everything. To, you know, the cafeteria workers, you change their mindset and how they greet the students, to the custodians, all the way up to the superintendent. Everybody's mindset will change when you challenge them to be a champion.
And that's what this program is all about. We do everything in segments. Segment number 2 is a wrap. Be right back in a minute. Cruising. Yeah, we're right on point there. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to stop this. Hey, this is Tony Mitchell coming back at you with segment number 3, Championship Mindset on the Road to Greatness. Conversations with my lovely daughter, Miss Anisa Joy Mitchell. We covered the first 2 segments. This third segment, we want to kind of spend it on how we support educators and the programs that we have to make sure this program is successful. We don't want to come in and do something that is a Band-Aid on a huge wound that you may have in your district. So we try to provide support, after we leave. We sign up for workshops. The way the program works is we will do professional development. We will also do a series of workshops with your students. We break it down by grades: elementary, middle, high school. After that, we also provide what kind of services for teachers to plug them in?
Constant communication, weekly email blasts, webinars, Zooms. We provide, we have a 24-hour contact line where teachers can send their questions or concerns, and how do I address this type of behavior, or how do I encourage or keep my kids engaged. We have all of that type of support. We have PowerPoints, and we plan the first 2 weeks of your school year out. So
we have activities
you
for
have
teachers.
activities. We have
poster boards.
We have things for you to hang up in your classroom. We have videos to support you, that you can watch it in action, so that you can kind of tweak the program to meet your environment. It's just a lot of support that we have.
Because we want you to succeed, and we're about changing the culture in your building, in your school district, in your community, because this program started changing the culture in Homewood, changing the culture in Wilkinsburg, changing the culture in areas where people said the culture would never change.
Right.
So now we understand, after all these years, 20 plus years, we have a staff that's full of education people. We have my daughter, who has 14 years of education. My wife has over 20 years of education. Thomas Wallace, who was the former executive director here, is an education major. We have a staff, Melinda Kuchenreiter. We have a staff of people who love the education field. So this is an education-driven program that has all these other components that we plug in for training athletes,
right,
for training coaches, for doing all the different things, for training parents.
Right.
But it's a program, like we said, is fully comprehensive. And we're excited to be able to do it at all these different levels. My daughter started in this program as a student. Now she is a teacher on her way to being an administrator. She is the director of education and curriculum for AFI, for Championship Mindset. So we understand that the evolution is still ongoing.
Right. Still being written. The story is still being written.
And it's really an exciting time for us, because we're going to put pressure on our competitors. We're going to put pressure on people to deliver the same type of passion, the same type of purpose, the same type of pride that we come to the table with.
Right.
We laugh amongst ourselves about having our own tour bus, having the AFI bus pull up in your community, and people just get excited because the energy that we're coming with. When we talk to your students, when we talk to your staff, we're coming with a different level of energy.
Right.
Different level of passion.
Intensity.
Yeah. And it's not something that can be duplicated unless you have that connection that is that spiritual connection. And that's, I think, the biggest issue that you have when you try to build a program like this in this society. If there's no connection, the kids feel that. When you go in your classroom the first day of school, second day of school, third day of school, they feel that connection. They feel that spirit, that faith that you have. So when you're talking to them, whether it's in that academic environment, whether I'm talking to teachers, whether I'm talking to parents, people will see you and say, hey, you're the championship mindset person. I remember the assembly that we had, and I love your class. I can't wait to get you next year, because that energy is palpable. That passion is there. So we know that we can transfer that into a staff, into a community, into a district.
Into a corporation.
Yes. Yes, there's no boundaries for championship mindset. That's why we named it championship mindset, because the mindset is the most powerful thing you have as an individual. And once you realize and know how to program that mindset, you're capable of greatness. We have shirts. I have one on today. It says, pain is temporary, but greatness is forever. That slogan stemmed from my high school thing at Wilkinsburg. We came in and we started talking about tiger pride. You know, we got people that understand that there's pain that goes into this process. Human growth is not going to come without pain.
Right.
You know, some of the personal things that we can share with you about our journey, it has not always been easy. No. We've had doors slammed in our face. Right. We've had people tell us that we don't believe in that program. We've had people do things to kind of block the programming. But it was meant to be. Right. And it just continued to evolve and continue to grow. It went to Georgia when you went to Georgia.
Right.
It's now in Delaware with Thomas Wallace.
Right.
It's going to be in...
It's in multiple states, actually.
Yes.
Because we provide online virtual services. And so you could be anywhere in the world, and we will help get your classroom under wraps. I have teachers that I mentor in 10 different states. I think about 10 different states. So it can be anywhere, and you get the same support that you would get as if it were in person. And so we're always accessible.
Yes. And it's a technology-driven company and product. So we don't have to be sitting directly in front of you to service you.
Right.
You know, and what we hope is to be able to provide this to as many different states as possible. Why? Because we're concerned about where we're going as a country, as a nation. She has young children. I have a young teenage son who's her youngest brother. And we have all these different issues that are environmental issues that spill over into the family environment. We feel like this is a game changer. We talked about it for years about changing the game.
Right.
We now have a product that we know can and will change the game if it's fully embraced.
Right. And it's just something that it's been a long time coming, and it is a great opportunity for, like I said, any corporation, any school, any grade level, college students. We're currently getting into the collegiate side. Yes. To where we are working with teachers who are potential teachers. Yes, they're teachers in training.
Right, they're majoring in education.
They're majoring in education, and we're working with them so that they don't drown within those first couple years of teaching, because we all know that it's hard as an educator when you first come out of school. And our programs don't do enough to prepare teachers for the classroom, and that's where Championship Mindset steps in and make sure that our teachers are prepared with engagement, classroom management, student achievement, standardized testing. We work with it all. The sports aspect. I mean, the list goes on and on. The services that Championship Mindset can provide.
And it's a beautiful thing because it stemmed from a family environment. I have 3 adult children. I have 1 teenager, and everybody has a component part in Championship Mindset. And we continue to evolve. We continue to grow. And we're just excited. I mean, it's palpable, the excitement and passion that's in my home, like right now. When we talk about where we're going and how we're going to do it, it's just like we getting ready to play some football. We getting ready to tackle somebody. We getting ready to do something good. And it's just, it's love. Championship Mindset will change your life if you embrace it.
Right.
Anisa, it has been tremendous.
Super
I've been looking
awesome.
forward to having
I've been watching
you here.
all the podcasts. I'm like, Dad, when you gonna get me on? Come on, put me on.
So now we are here. This is a sign of things to come.
Absolutely.
Really excited. Championship Mindset is coming to a school or a community near you. Thank you again, Nisa, for being here. I want to thank JB and the Lighthouse Project at the YMCA in Homewood for providing this avenue for us.
Right.
We out.